Impact Theory Comics is a new independent publisher, and they're releasing their first comic, Neon Future. The comic is a collaboration with world-famous DJ and producer Steve Aoki, and it's written by the Eisner Award-winning writer of Justice from DC Comics, Jim Krueger. With artwork by Neil Edwards and Jeremy Rapek, the artwork and story are absolutely mind-blowing. If you like science fiction, you're going to love this comic, so head over to your local comic store or Comics Conspiracy, and get Neon Future issue number 1 on your pull list ASAP. And while you're at it, if you have Instagram, you can see some of the artwork for yourself. It's at IT Comics on Instagram. Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy, or should I say, the Comic Movie and TV Conspiracy, because holy hell. My name is Ryan Higgins, who's here with me this week.
Do we have an episode number?
387 for February 5th, 2019.
And then?
State of the Union, address, 3/4 over.
God.
Live tweeting that shit.
Oh, God.
I'm Ryan Higgins.
Brock Sager.
And that's everyone. Where the hell is everyone? They're all so doing chilling, I'm assuming. So
what?
They're all State of the Union and chilling. So
wait, there's a party where people watch that garbage and then have sex?
Maybe. I mean, if you're watching Trump, that you just want to immediately have sex after watching that man talk.
No.
And by sex, I mean ritual suicide, of course. Yeah. So, my name's Ryan Higgins. This is Brock.
Yes.
Brock, first, I have to make fun of you, then I have to congratulate you. I have to make fun of you because you have been, how do I put this? You've been unnicotíned all day, and you're very weird. And congratulations on 5 days without smoking, attempting to stop smoking.
Well, I was really ill over the weekend. I got really ill on Thursday.
Yeah. And
I basically had body aches and on and off fever. I didn't know the joints between your toes could hurt like that. And so I was like, you know what, this is a good time to stop. So I have not had one in 5 days.
Okay, that's very good. Congratulations. However, it is making you really weird.
I know.
So
it's part of the withdrawal phase.
I'm
trying.
Just normalize this episode.
Okay, well,
you've been like buzzing and humming and twitchy and like
that's what happens, man.
Yeah. Let's chill. Let's relax. Let's talk about some comic news.
You chill, Mr. God. You're on Twitter with like every GIF known to man.
Gift party, baby.
Gift party. Fuck.
Yeah, State of the Union gift party. Seriously, there was 100 things to talk about this week from news, and not a single thing involved physical print comic books. There was like fucking endless news about movies, TV shows, about comic books, just endless. But it was like a struggle to even find one single thing about like normal comic books to talk about. So this could be a really weird, an extremely weirdly unintended movie and TV show focused episode. But we do have some questions
with an apparently jittery and hyper.
No, you're fine. You're fine now. So I'm gonna read you some of these.
Okay, go.
Some things.
Go.
I'm just gonna. I mean, I have like so many topics. Just in random order. We're gonna hit these up one at a time.
Let's hit them up. Let's just do this.
Legion.
The
FX
Fox,
TV show.
FX,
Yeah.
I don't watch it.
You've been watching that?
No.
Okay. Well, you don't have to. It's canceled.
Okay.
So season 3. Season 3 is going to be the last season.
Wasn't it good?
Yeah. I mean, it's very interesting. Noah Hawley, the showrunner, said that it was 3 seasons was kind of his plan, but it's wrapping up. I'm assuming this also is, something to do with the Fox Disney merger, FX being part of.
Is that
Fox.
official yet?
No, it hasn't happened yet. They were saying like they wanted it done by the end of 2018. No, yet nothing in January. It's coming. It's happening. Maybe, hopefully.
I don't know, man.
You ever gonna watch Legion? Do you have any interest? Or I think Toby. Oh no, someone. Oh no, that was Westworld was cheap. Legion season 1 was cheap. I think on Black Friday.
Yeah.
So
I think it's one of those ones that I'll probably watch eventually.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it really has nothing to do with the comics. But it is it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's very strange, not a bad strange, just just strange. I think for a Legion TV show, Strange is good. I haven't seen season 2 yet, so I've only seen the first season. Season 2 has just been sitting on my TiVo. But it is kind of its own little self-contained story and pretty short. So I'll burn through that at some point. Soon. But yeah, I think I'm not too surprised. I don't know what the ratings were like, but again, with the merger, and this is going to be a common example of what's coming up here.
Because have they announced Punisher's cancellation yet?
No, not yet. I'm sure they will soon. But yeah, nothing for Punisher or Jessica Jones yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I understand what Disney is doing. Like, they're kind of like, well, let's bring everything in, and then...
I mean, to the best of my knowledge, this is not... I mean, this isn't really Disney's control yet. I have to assume there's like, let's get all our things kind of situated, but yeah, I don't know. So one more season.
I don't know. For those of you who like Legion, I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, and especially if the showrunner is saying 3 seasons was kind of the...
Well, if that's the plan, then that's perfect. Like, he got the 3 seasons in, he told the story he wanted to tell.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a last season that feels rushed at the end. Because, I've seen plenty of TV shows where it's like about halfway through that last season, you can tell the episode where they found out they were canceled.
Yeah, and there's like, we're going to wrap everything up and we're done.
Yeah.
Well, ABC has opted to not make another pilot. So we had the ill-fated Mockingbird and
Ask Me About My Feminist Agenda show.
No. I mean, it was going to spin off the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That never. They did a pilot, but that never got picked up.
Yeah.
Jessica Jones was supposed to be on ABC. Then got pushed to Netflix. Agent Carter barely squeaked out that second season before it was basically canceled going into the second season, but they ran through that second season. And now this one, it was an unproduced team of female Marvel superheroes. It was going to be produced by Alan Heinberg, who was a co-creator of Young Avengers.
Please tell me it wasn't called Marvel Divas.
No, there's no... That was their miniseries they did a number of years back. So
they did one of those?
Yeah, wasn't Marvel Divas one? There was like a mini... called that
like a comic, yes.
Yeah. Miniseries, comic miniseries,
yeah, the comic miniseries. I'm like,
a TV show.
Please don't call the TV show Marvel Divas.
No.
Unless it's Dazzler, and who else is like a pop star like person?
But it was going to be a group of characters, lesser known characters. Obviously, then obviously they wouldn't get any of the characters that are in the Avengers movies. But another Marvel show. Gone. Legion. Now this thing's gone. All right. Marvel, I have to assume the goal here is we're going to consolidate a lot of these shows onto the Disney streaming service. We've already heard about...
But the problem is with the Disney streaming service, they've already talked about it's going to be a lot of PG material. Like, it's going to be PG material.
Yeah.
So a lot of this stuff that they're consolidating would not be something that you would think would go onto a Disney streaming app. Like... Jessica Jones and like the Netflix Marvel shows is not something I would see on a Disney streaming app. Something like Mandalorians, Star Wars Bounty Hunters, where laser fire just put scorch marks on armor.
Yeah,
right. That's fine because that's something. I mean, you can still do stuff with that. But yeah, a lot of these shows that were. Touched Daredevil had violence and sexuality and all, like a lot of stuff going on in these shows that were great.
They would be rated R, right? I mean, they were mature.
And I think that especially with today's TV going audience, there's a certain amount that you still have to produce of content that, is going to engage people enough.
Well, I mean, are you saying why the streaming service and why not just regular TV? Or
no. I'm saying
cable?
I'm saying that they've already come out and said the streaming service is like PG, right?
Well, I mean, PG-13. You're not going to get away with a Star Wars show that's PG.
So, well, and that's the thing is where are they drawing the line?
Yeah. Well, right. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know, but I would think you have a streaming service, you can have some form of parental lock on it. It's an app.
I mean, it would be Disney like made the tween genre, like the tween label. Because I used to work for Go.com, and we had to look up shit under the tween.
But they can't. Group. But they're not ignorant to the fact that the mature stuff of HBO and FX is absolutely killing it. Right. Yeah. So there's obviously an audience for more mature superhero stuff. They'd be crazy to not do something with it. Their characters are not all PG. You're not going to have a PG Wolverine. You're not going to have a PG Deadpool. You're not going to have a PG Punisher. You're not going to have a PG Daredevil. I mean, it's just not going to happen.
And the thing is we have seen the success of these types of characters with what they're supposed to have, like rating wise.
Yeah.
And you can't really go backtrack from that. I mean, Once Upon a Deadpool did what?
Yeah, nobody cared.
Nobody cared. I mean, people went to it. But nobody cared as much as going to the regular Deadpool.
Right. Well, and I have to assume the focus here is some will go to the streaming service, but I would think there's just going to be a renegotiation within Disney to be like, look, what are we going to do with these as far as TV? Because DC's had tremendous success with the TV shows. Mm-hmm. Marvel's had tremendous success with the movies. And so Disney's not new to TV. The Disney company's been doing amazing TV shows since the start of television. It's really easy for them to have multiple shows. I don't know what just isn't clicking, but I wonder if they're like, let's get everything in house. We have the FF, we have the X-Men, we have all these things once the Fox merger goes through, and then we'll decide what we want to do. And then you have every channel kind of has their brand, Fox, the Fox channel will have the X-Men stuff, right? Yeah. FX can have Punisher. The Disney streaming app can have some animated stuff and the kids stuff if they do want to keep it lighter, right? Yeah. And so you could sort of spread out into all your, Disney XD can do the Avengers animated stuff, and you can have different series on at different places. I have no clue.
Yeah.
But the one show that is still on from Marvel, it's still surviving somehow, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
People still watch that thing?
Season 6. I mean, look, I'm not going to talk shit about it. I just didn't care for it. I mean, it's so disconnected from the MCU and disconnected from anything Marvel, really. Yeah. I did not stick with it. However, Season 5 ended, and coming into Season 6, this is a weird story. So, Clark Gregg, who plays Agent Coulson, will be on Season 6, even though he left at the end of Season 5, and there's, I guess, a trailer where he's, like, quote-unquote dead. All right? But he's going to be, right, he's going to be in Season 6, not playing Coulson.
Huh?
Right. So, is he an LMD? Is he a Skrull?
Isn't he already an LMD?
Right. Or he was at one point, but, like, he's the real one's been running around for a while. So.
No, the real Coulson is the one that we saw in the early Marvel movies when Phase 1 was coming out. And then Coulson died the second he whipped out those Captain America trading cards and got all fanboyish. And
I don't know.
Took him out in Avengers.
I mean, unless something happened in later seasons where they said he's been an LMD the whole time, a life model decoy, for those that don't know what LMD stands for. I don't think he was an LMD. I mean, the whole idea is that he was kind of resurrected and came back. They did the whole like Tahiti Project thing and brought him back to life.
Yeah, Tahiti Project, life model decoy. That's the process. They have to bake you on the sandy beaches.
I mean, we just don't know.
It's like Westworld. They just call it the Tahiti program.
The Tahiti Project. Yeah. I mean, that's
what's Westworld. The milk bath.
Milk bath.
The milk bath.
Oh, yeah, right. God, when's Westworld coming back on? Probably 2020, huh?
2021.
So long. Is it really?
I don't know. But we have Game of Thrones final season in April.
Oh, so soon.
What are we doing?
So soon. Oh, I can't wait. Can't wait.
I don't know. I don't know if I can handle it.
What, it being over?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fine with it. It's and they're gonna have like 20 spin-off shows. I'm not worried about it at all. Yeah.
I read something funny about the guy who plays Jon Snow and his wife, who he told her what happened.
Yeah.
And she didn't talk to him for like 3 days.
Yeah,
I was like, that was either because she was mad that he spoiled it for her, even though she asked him to, or something that
messed up
happens that you just can't talk for 3. I'm like, so when is the last, like, I want to know when the last episode is airing to see. I want to see like how many people take the day off on that Monday.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's kind of it for the Marvel stuff, although we do have a bunch of DC movie and TV news to talk about here, so let's get to that.
Well, I mean, overall, I think Marvel kind of consolidating and bringing everything together, and then kind of, like you said,
they've got time. They don't need to pump it out. They have the movies. They don't need to pump out the TV shows and have them suck, right? I mean, there's no way Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is performing what they wanted to. Obviously, the rest of the shows, the Netflix ones, I think, did well, but Disney doesn't control those, so they're not making all the money on it. So I think they will get this figured out by the time it's ready for them to.
No, I mean they have a lot of potential to do a lot of really cool things with their TV show lineup in the coming years.
Yeah.
And I think that consolidating everything, getting it all on the right track, getting it farmed out for a better term, to places that will be able to handle what type of TV programming it is. Yeah. Like the more adult stuff is going to be going towards more cable, so you have to pay for it, right?
Yeah.
Stuff that's more on like general TV, you're going to get like on ABC or something of that nature. Stuff that's more kid friendly, like animated or all that stuff. Yeah. Boom, straight to the app. So we'll see. I think it's going to be an interesting time coming up for Marvel, especially with the movies kind of winding down.
Well, not winding down, but they're not, though, right? I mean, there's just going to be more and more of them. So,
but we're also at a point where we don't know what's happening with, because we lose the Iron Man franchise, we lose the Cap franchise, we lose the Thor franchise. Not losing them like as that actor is no longer going to play that character. Yeah. We have Black Panther. We established a good Black Panther. Yep. So hopefully he has at least 2 more movies in him. Spider-Man Homecoming is set potentially to do, if they did it right, I could almost say they could pull off 7.
With what?
They could pull off 7.
7 what?
7 movies and do the Sinister Six as the last film.
Oh, God. No, I mean, 3 kind of tends to be the limit. I think Avengers is the opposite because we have you have a group dynamic on that. Well, it's not just that. It's kind of a 2-parter at the end, right? Yeah. I don't think you're going to get too many movies. Too many where they're going to go over 3. But we have at least not right away.
I mean, Guardians 3 is still up in the air.
Now, they said it's happening, but I think that's a ways off at this point. That's quite a way off at this point.
Depending on the success of Captain Marvel, that's great, but again, we'll see how that does.
Yeah. And at this point,
we also have Doctor Strange 2.
Doctor Strange 2 is coming out. The only one, I mean, Hulk really is the only one that I don't think they'll do more of, right? Because everything else has had,
which is sad because Ruffalo would have been great to have had just a solo.
Sure,
Mark Ruffalo,
but because of the way that Marvel, the deal with was it Universal?
Yeah,
they won't ever do another Hulk movie. So I mean, we're done with Thor, we're done with Cap, we're done with Iron Man. So we still have 2 Doctor Stranges, 1 Ant-Man, 2 Spider-Man, 2 Black Panther.
I would give at least 3 Spider-Man.
Well, Spider-Man, again, I'm just saying the ones we haven't had. 2 Captain Marvels.
1 more Guardians.
So
you're 7.
I'm missing anything? Something that's only had 1 or 2? No, I think that's everything. So there's your next 10 movies, right? And then plus whatever new characters that they introduce plus Avengers. So yeah.
But that's going to, I mean, but the thing is you don't have, I mean, those are they're great movies, right?
Yeah.
They're cool characters, but they're not at the same level as a Cap, a Thor, an Iron Man.
I mean, yes, they are. Guardians and
Guardians is
and Black Panther.
Guardians and Black Panther and Spider-Man are at that level,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like those three are the ones that have taken over.
Yeah, at this point, yeah. I mean, they've all done incredibly well. So
because the other thing, I mean, and the other thing too is what's going on with the Fox merger when it comes to the movies,
and that's just going to add Wolverine and the FF and X-Men multiple franchise, and yeah, it's a whole nother batch of movies. So yeah, this is going to be a ton of Marvel movies. They're not. If anything, they're ramping up. They're not slowing down. There's just going to be more of them.
I think what they're consolidating. They're kind of planning, and then they're just going to go full bore.
Yeah. Well.
Were we going to talk more DC stuff?
We got some DC stuff to talk about as well here. Why the Last Man officially picked up for FX. It's got a pilot. It's going to come out in 2020, assuming the pilot. The pilot has been officially picked up. The series will come out in 2020. Okay. It'll just be called Why. So good luck finding that on your TiVo. Good luck searching for that on Google when you're looking up the name of the show. Good luck, SEO people.
Well, why is you just type "why" TV show?
I'm just saying.
No, I know, but that's what you type.
It's
into
annoying.
Google. To me, it's
very excited for Why.
Why Last Man, right?
Why the Last Man? Yeah,
right. It's so, but I was like, why Last Man? But it's Why the Last Man.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it is Why the Last Man.
I know.
That is the name of the.
I always forget. For a long time, I always forgot the
Why Last Man.
Why Last Man? I was like, all right.
It's like Why the Last Man. It's sort of just Why the Last Man. Why the Last Man. It just sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, cool. I mean, it's definitely going to be a female-driven cast.
Yeah.
Which is perfectly fine with me.
I would think it's entirely, except for one person.
If the monkey is female, though, the internet's going to go on fire. It has to be a male monkey.
Spider-Verse. You may have heard of it.
That animated thing that almost made
Enter
you
the
sick?
Spider-Verse. Yes, a fun, big.
Yes, I will buy it on Blu-ray.
Very, very critically acclaimed animated movie that came out. Just cleaned up at the Annie Awards too, the big animation awards. I think every category was nominated for. DC may have something similar, kind of in tone. Maybe not in tone, but similar, in approach.
Please tell me it's not like Doom.
There's been rumors
or something.
There's been rumors on and off for a few years about this. It sounds like it may be a little more official now. A feature, so not a direct to DVD, a feature Batman Beyond animated film. Obviously,
in kind of that Spider-Verse style.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know what they're going to do with it, right? I think the DC animated movies have all had a very similar style. They all take elements from the Justice League Unlimited, kind of
universe.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that in a lot of the DC animated movies. Sometimes the animations updated a little bit to look more like the artist who the book is based on, but I think this would have to be something significantly different, especially post Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
They would have to really try. It can't look like the animated movies that go direct to DVD. It would have to be something different. But that's I think that's a big deal, and Batman Beyond is a super popular franchise, especially for people a little younger than us.
Yeah.
Which I think would be a great audience to grab. So, we have a bunch of movie stuff. Get to some of these first.
TV stuff?
No, well there is.
Oh, okay.
I got a few things to go back and forth. They've been working on the Birds of Prey TV show, Birds of Prey movie.
Yeah,
Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn.
Margaret Robbie.
Well, the new rumor is DC's so happy with what's going on that they want not only one, not only two, but three of these movies.
Harley movies?
So
or
Birds of Prey, Gotham City Sirens,
Fuck yeah.
and then
a
third.
Yeah.
Right. We'd heard about Gotham City Sirens a while ago.
Yeah, well, I think when Suicide Squad first came out, it was like, well, are we going to get Gotham City Sirens? And then they kind of went towards the Birds of Prey angle on it.
Well, yeah, they straight up said early days, like Birds of Prey, I think, was originally going to be a Gotham City Sirens.
Yeah.
That's what it was going to be called. But they said, well, let's do Birds of Prey. But now it sounds like, well, let's actually let's just do both, right? And again, love their trilogies. Everyone loves their trilogies. If you can get 3 movies, that's huge. I mean, that could be a $200 billion a $2 billion franchise if you can get enough money out of all 3 movies. So, I if Birds of Prey does well, I would think getting the people to sign back on and do 2 more movies would be probably pretty easy. And again, I don't know what DC's plan is. We've heard James Wan. They're courting him to come back to write and direct Aquaman 2.
Yeah,
obviously, huge success. So it makes sense if he comes back.
Well, Gunn is coming back for Suicide Squad, right?
There's actually going to be the next topic. So not only James Gunn writing The Suicide Squad, which is the name of the movie, we now have an official date. It'll be released August 6th, 2021. So we got a little bit of time coming up.
That's like right after my birthday that year.
Nice.
Like Suicide Squad comes out the month of my birthday. The first one actually came out right when I separated from my ex-wife. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
So
happy memories.
So The Suicide Squad. So you have Suicide Squad, now The Suicide Squad. So yeah, August 6th. So 2 years and change.
Yeah.
But now he is they are in talks to have Gunn directed as well, which obviously I think is I think a lot of people assumed was going to happen.
I think Gunn's style can work for the Suicide Squad.
Well, when we were doing the Geek Box last night, and I was talking to Ryan Scott about this,
episode 501.
501. I said. So who did I say? I said so. We have the Suicide Squad is composed of Swamp Thing,
what?
Detective Chimp,
It's Justice League Dark.
Adam Strange.
It's Justice League Dark.
And we got a little tripped up trying to think of DC's Gamora and Drax. I don't really know. I couldn't really come up with DC's Gamora and Drax. So you have Adam Strange is Peter Quill. You have Swamp Thing is Groot. You have Detective Chimp is Rocket.
Okay.
Right.
So
who would fit a Suicide Squad movie?
Dude, why didn't you do Jade for Gamora?
Jade. I mean, Jade, the Green Lantern, maybe. But a lot of these aren't villains either, which is kind of always ends up being the problem.
But Jade isn't necessarily a villain.
Oh, you mean
Jade, Green Lantern?
Yeah. She's absolutely not a villain.
Yeah. As for just like for Drax, just throw in the Atom or something.
The who?
The Atom.
What?
I don't know. Pick an Earth 2 guy. I don't know.
The fuck?
Steel, Captain Steel.
These are all heroes. We need villains. I didn't think of 5 good villains.
Major Disaster.
Oh, yeah, it could be okay. Yeah, Major Disaster. I have to think about this more.
I mean, if you're picking straight, like I don't know why you picked Swamp Thing over what the fuck's his botanical. Who's the other botanical?
The Floronic Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Floronic Man.
Floronic Man
for Groot.
Who's a good rocket?
Who's a good rocket
replacement?
Rocket
that's a
replacement
villain.
That's a villain.
Dexter.
Yeah.
Okay, Floronic Man, Dexter. Who's a good space faring
like bad
jetpack
bad guy?
Bad guy. It's got to be one. Like Adam Strange doesn't really have a good.
Come on, we can do this. We're nerds.
I can think of something. Okay, I like Major Disaster for Drax.
Yeah, Major Disaster for Drax. As for a female villain,
we can come back to this. We'll think about it.
I mean, you can still just shove Enchantress in there. It doesn't matter.
We'll think about it. But there's a couple other movies that DC announced as well, dates for. And again, as always, When the trailer hits, I'll believe it, right? But for now, I think these are much more likely because it appears that Warner Brothers actually has a plan at this point. And the plan is to completely abandon the Snyder DCU movieverse.
Yeah, which everyone told them to do after Man of Steel.
Yeah. The writer of Lego Batman and Lego Ninjago will write and direct the DC Super Pets, I assume, animated movie. May 1st, 2021. I am so excited for that. I love the Super Pets. Really,
I just want to know who's going to do the voice of Batcow.
Batcow, Beppo the Super Monkey, Comet, Streaky, Prody.
Who's the squirrel lantern?
Badge.
Badge
can be in it.
Confused as an actual pet, and he'll get all pissed off.
Badge can be in it. Yeah. Oh, Prody's going to fucking be in it from Legion of Superheroes.
If that's successful, then you know you're going to get Lockjaw and his pet Avengers.
Oh, that'd be fine. I don't care. With Throg.
Throg.
But the big one, of course, is not to be confused with The Suicide Squad, would be The Batman. June 25th, 2021. That's like a month and a half. That's like a month and a week before Suicide Squad. That's crazy. Matt Reeves directing a younger Bruce Wayne. The Batfleck is out.
Yep.
Ben Affleck said that, congratulations to whoever is the role next. This is as official as we've gotten of Ben Affleck. He's working on other projects. That doesn't mean he can't come back if they want to do another Justice League movie.
What do you think they're going to do, though?
I mean, early day Batman.
So like year one stuff?
I don't know. They said not an origin, is what I read.
So it's going to be like Earth 1.
Well, that's kind of an origin. I think.
I mean, part of it is. But
there's endless Batman stories you can do. You can introduce any of his major rogues gallery. You just don't have it be his origin, and you just don't have it be in the modern day, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Every Batman movie, we have to see the pearls in the shot.
Well, if you look,
it doesn't matter.
If you look at what they did with, BVS when they introduced Batman, no one really had seen him prior to that. He was this myth. Even Superman had never seen him. So you can easily, if you want to keep it in the same continuity and not retcon a bunch of stuff, you can easily have this Batman just be this, myth that doesn't exist. He doesn't have to have any other characters in it. It could just be in Gotham City. It's not crossing over to anyone else. And that seems to be Warner Brothers' MO going forward, is that they want these things to be standalone, no post-credit scenes leading into the next movie, no major crossovers with other characters.
You're not going to get your Legion of Doom.
I mean, of course I want this stuff, but I also want the movies to be good. And if they allow, and if allowing the directors to kind of do their own thing, then, down the road.
Wait, like Marvel did?
But see, this is bullshit. This entire argument does not make sense. Because in the very first movie, in Iron Man 1, do people not remember that Nick Fury comes to him in the post-credit scene and says, we're forming the Avengers? In Hulk, Iron Man is in it, talking to Banner. Like, this whole idea was there from the very first Marvel movie. Mm-hmm. This wasn't something. This idea that DC didn't earn it is always nonsense to me, because Marvel was going there from the very first movie.
The thing is there's a difference between having a goal laid out and getting to that goal. So with DC, it was okay. We need to revitalize the DC movie universe, and so we're getting Zack Snyder. All right, well, you got Man of Steel out of him. That was kind of your test run, right? Man of Steel was standalone enough; it had the potential to branch out to more, but it was not well accepted. Yeah, and instead of going, okay, it wasn't well accepted, how can we adjust? They just said, nope, let's just go with, let's slap Batman on the front.
Yeah. Well, they had this whole plan for Snyder of all of these movies, and like it didn't work out for them.
And that's the thing is like they weren't just giving Snyder just Superman. They were giving him the DC movieverse, like
which I totally think giving other people control of all, every movie should be a different group of people working on it. Makes sense. It shouldn't have been Snyder.
I think Marvel did good in they had the type of director for the type of character.
Yeah.
As a studio, they were like, we have this vision that we want to accomplish.
Yeah.
Now, you can tell your story on the spectrum, but this is the vision that we want to accomplish.
Sure.
Right? Whereas DC did...
hold on.
You realize we're about to get in a Man of Steel argument.
No. Every single Marvel movie is made by committee, fine-tuned to be exactly what it needs to be with every character's arc planned out from the beginning. None of the Marvel movies are like, do whatever you want. We don't care. No. That is not how it works.
It wasn't do whatever you want, but instead of going, they were selective about the directors that they got for the types of characters that they were dealing with.
Sure.
Right? Captain America, the first Avenger, we got a director that had done war-type movies and stuff like that. Yeah. When we moved on to the Russo brothers with Winter Soldier...
That was their first major movie.
That was their first major movie, but...
First movie period, I think.
But because of the Russo brothers fit that style of movie they were trying
But it doesn't. No, but they did Community and shit before that. They never made anything like that before. But it was people that they could take and do something with. They were shit with nothing like this. They had done nothing on that size before. But they were kind of directors that they could. It wasn't someone that was going to override what Marvel wanted to do. They got people that, for the most part, would fit into the role they needed them to fit for directing the movie. The Marvel movies are not these, done by these auteur directors that are going to have their own vision. They're very much by the books.
Well,
everything is made by committee. Yeah, but that was
even the Ant-Man fiasco.
I think
the first film.
Look what happened, right? Because Edgar Wright wouldn't do it, right? I think Gunn might be the exception because I think they liked him and they're like, well, this is not going to be a big thing. It'll be fun, but it can kind of be its own thing. And that maybe was personally why I didn't enjoy 2 as much. Maybe that was sort of at odds. I don't know. But I think with the first one, of all of them, he probably was left alone the most for Guardians 1.
Yeah. Well, because
I don't think that's the case for Guardians 2.
No. And it's the same thing I think I felt with going from Iron Man to Iron Man 2, right? The success of Iron Man 1 catapulted the production of Iron Man 2
very quickly.
And so I felt Iron Man 2 was rushed. It had potential to be more.
But I still really liked it. I don't get the hate for Iron Man 2.
The hate for Iron Man 2 comes from if you watch Iron Man 1 and then watch Iron Man 2, you're like, ugh. But if you back away and you just watch Iron Man 2 by itself after not seeing it for a while, it's fine. It works fine.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's not hate. It's just I could tell you rushed it. But I think that with DC, they have the potential to, Wang has the potential to do another great couple Aquaman movies. Patty Jenkins. Jenkins can most likely do hopefully a couple more the 1984 and then probably the 90s one.
No, they said third one's going to be in the present day. Like they've already mentioned, they've already talked about this. Yeah, and there will definitely be a Wonder Woman 3, I'm sure.
Yeah. So to me, I think that they've got 2 of those down.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking the style that Snyder's movieverse established.
Yeah,
but I think they're kind of shying away from that vision of the universe.
Yeah.
So, which I think is what they need to do. Now, as for what the Batman movie is going to be about,
mm-hmm.
I mean, like you said, I think there's plenty of stuff that they can do. That's just kind of early days kind of things.
Yeah.
That's not a Batman Begins or Tim Burton's Batman. So,
Yeah, no, they'll do their own thing for it.
TV stuff?
There's one last
Movie thing?
One last big thing to talk about here for TV, because I didn't want to save this to last. It's just like, they didn't even draw it out. Arrow, Season 8. Flash, Season 6. Legends, Season 5. Supergirl, Season 5. Black Lightning, Season 3. Riverdale, Season 4. Bing, bang, boom. Every comic book show on CW renewed way early.
Yeah.
They don't normally do this stuff till like summer.
Yeah.
They're just like, nope, we're renewing everything.
Yeah. Well, and Batwoman, if it was
Batwoman's been picked up. Yep.
If it was further along in the schedule, they probably would have added that to the automatic renewal.
So Batwoman, 2019-2020, Katie Keene, which is a Riverdale spinoff, is another Archie character, 2019-2020. So they're looking at when they're going to be working on those. There is also a Tracy 13 show.
What?
The DC character.
What?
Survivors Club.
The Witch Girl?
Yeah. Survivors Club, based on a Vertigo book. Valiant's Dr. Mirage and Super Clean.
Wait, they're picking up a Valiant book?
These have been talked about in the past. We don't know the current status of these, but these are other shows other comic book shows the CW has previously said that they were in some level of talks on. So we don't know if there could be 4 more shows coming to this as well.
Dude.
The huge success of Riverdale.
TiVo's gonna just...
Oh, it's the worst. It's inching ever closer to full, and I'm like, something's gonna get done here. There are 3 other unnamed pilots. There are 3 other unnamed pilots in the works, and hopefully,
is one called Rebels?
I don't know. That'd be awesome, but we don't know if what these shows are. They haven't said, but I would assume it's superhero based, because that's apparently just what happens. Yeah.
We're getting Krypton 2.
Yeah. I mean, that's not on CW, but
well, I know, but
that should be really soon. Yeah, that should be. I'm assuming that's really soon on Sci-Fi. So, sorry guys, everyone out there, they're like, oh, these shows are just so dull and boring, and I'm so sick of them. When will they end? No time soon, bitches. No time soon. All of them. Give me all of them forever. There was some talk from one of the guys at CW that, they are. There's an intent to start kind of cycling through some of these shows.
Because Arrow, I think, is
8 would be a. 8 could be the end of Arrow. I mean, if they want to move on.
I mean, 9, 10... 10 is the absolute last.
If he wants to, too. I mean, if Amel wants to throw them in their Legends. Just have them go over there for a half season or something like that. Or have a... Well,
and the thing is I think the Legends TV show is the one that could go the longest, because it's like the glue that holds everything together.
Yeah.
And you can kind of just bring people in and like Wally, right?
Yeah.
We had Wally and Flash, and then we were kind of like, well, we can't be focusing on Wally and Barry at the same time.
Well, the actor he just wanted to move on and do other stuff, but they got him in Legends for half a season.
Yeah, they moved him into Legends and kind of had him move, he did his thing and got but the character it didn't die off. It naturally moved.
Yeah.
In story where he was. Yeah, so it's like, if the character comes back, it's cool. You're not... Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, a lot of good shows. We have a lot of more shows to watch. It'll never end. These shows just go on.
What happens
forever.
if your TiVo, takes a dump? Just fries?
I mean, if the hard drive fries, then I just download those episodes, and I don't feel guilty about it. I TiVo'd them. They're on my thing. I have them, so... We have a bunch of questions. Let's get to some of these.
All right.
It's from Ivan. He says, who's more wrong? Ryan about Young Justice Season 3 or Bryce Larson about everything else?
Bryce Larson about everything else.
Good question. Look, I didn't hate Young Justice Season 3. I got a lot of shit for this. It's being a little pedantic. Pedantic? No, that's not the right word. I was being a little facetious? Yeah, sure. I did love the Doom Patrol Ghost stuff, though. That was by far the best. It just... I find the show needlessly confusing for what the show is. That's
supposed
the
to be.
long and the short of it. Yeah. I like it enough to continue watching it. I don't hate it. I like it. I just wished I liked it more.
Well, you're watching for more Doom Patrol Go.
Oh God, please give me Doom Patrol Go. That'd be so good.
Like the adult version of Teen Titans Go that can play on Adult Swim.
That'd be cool. It's from Joaquin. It says, how do you guys feel about Bob Iger, head of Disney, saying the Deadpool rated R films will continue and they may even add other heroes to that? I think it's a no-brainer.
Well, I mean, so part of my irritation with taking comic books and moving them to a different medium, right?
Yeah.
Is if you're going to take, like a character like Batman and move him to a different medium, the great thing is Batman has G to R.
Yeah.
Like, you have a spectrum. You can pick whatever you want on that spectrum, and you have a Batman to fill that spot.
Yeah.
Deadpool is a character that you don't really have a G version of Deadpool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a stretch, but it's really hard to go, yeah, I can have a G-rated Deadpool. No, you have to, it's very, PG-13 is even pushing how light Deadpool would have to be.
Well, they had, the comic books are PG-13, right? I mean...
Well, but the comic books are PG-13, but I think Deadpool's character screams... It's like a kid going, I can watch R-rated movies.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't fucking care. Give me an R-rated movie, you piece of shit, whatever, deadbeat dad. I don't care what you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I think that, it's the rating should fit the character and what the story you're trying to tell.
Yeah.
And limiting yourself, Black Label, is probably not in your best interests.
I think PG or PG light, PG-13 light Deadpool stuff would totally work. We get to that crowd that cannot see an R-rated movie or cannot see the R-rated content. I don't know if they want to do that. Maybe it would work on some channel. There was like a Deadpool show, a cartoon that was supposed to be on like FX a long time ago, but nothing ever came of that. So I don't know. But yeah, no, I think they should do more R-rated superhero stuff. There's a rumor of Black Widow. I highly doubt they will with Black Widow because she's part of the Avengers. But can they do it with, another attempt at the Punisher live-action movie or a Daredevil live-action movie that's R-rated? Absolutely. Yeah. Could they do it with Moon Knight? Absolutely. These other things that don't have to connect to your PG/PG-13 rated content. These very standalone features. Jeremy says, you guys going to make it to Chicago for C2E2? No, man, I've never got out to Chicago. I would love to go to C2E2. I heard it's a great convention, but I've never.
We need to pick.
I just don't go to cons anymore.
I know, but we should do it as a group and pick.
Con? I mean, it would be WonderCon or it would be Emerald City if we're going to do something, just because it's easier.
No, but I'm saying like this is something we'd plan for. Pick a year, not like next year, but give us movie date.
Yeah, I just never, even to the Comics Pro stuff or the Diamond Retailer Luncheon. I just never do this stuff. I should, but I don't know. I just never do.
You know why, right? You know why you never
ain't got no time for that.
Ain't got no time for that.
Fucking busy, man.
I got TV shows to watch on my TiVo. That bitch is almost full.
So busy. West Coast Avenger says, do you guys think season 2 of Titans will show the famous Jason Todd death scene of being beaten to death by the Joker with a crowbar? If there's a Jason Todd I've ever wanted to see beaten to death, it's the Jason Todd on Titans. Holy shit, that kid's a dick.
Yeah, he is.
Man, they have to have made him that annoying and that much of just a fucking, just a piece, you just want to punch that shit. Just give him a MAGA hat and it's that's how close we are.
Whoa. Don't soil Jason Todd with a MAGA hat.
Okay? I'm just saying.
Don't fucking do that
You just
shit.
get a very punchable face, okay?
Oh no, that Jason Todd has a very, very punchable.
If I'm
face.
going to hit someone with a crowbar in the face, it's going to be him. Multiple times till he's dead. It's going to be this kid. And he's such a piece of shit in that show. So I very possible. Very possible. I don't know that they'll do it, but fuck, that Titan show is way darker than I thought. So maybe.
And we did get that image of Donna Troy in her Wonder Girl costume.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it looks good.
It's really cool.
I mean, Donna Troy was easily one of the best parts of the Titan show. She's such a good episode.
Well, I think I mean we've talked about it at length, but I think the Titan show definitely was one of those things that DC failed to PR properly.
Yeah, that's for damn sure.
Because of that PR fiasco failure thing, I think that actually hindered a little bit of the DC app launch.
Yeah.
Like of the streaming service, of people getting the material. Because I think now that because of that kind of misstep at the beginning, I think people are going to wait a little bit more and see what Doom Patrol's about, see what Swamp Thing's about. So,
the ratings, the streaming ratings went way up for those shows in Young Justice as it went on, because more and more people were subscribing to the service, especially when Young Justice came. Clearly, a lot of people did, but there was a couple articles that were talking about the ratings, and they said the streaming numbers for Titans went way up as the series went on, because so many more people, good word of mouth, and more people were subscribing just to watch it. So it was always great. Dat Conquistador asks, D-A-T, says, tell me when you guys are watching Deadly Class. Come on, Charlie. I watched the first episode. Did we not talk about this?
No.
I really liked it.
We've been busy.
Yeah, we have. I really liked the first episode. So we're 2 or 3 in. I haven't seen the last couple, but I read the first trade for Deadly Class.
I never got into the comic. I gave it a try.
Yeah.
I just never got into the comic.
And I like Rick Remender. And I like the art quite a bit.
I liked the look and design of the Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah.
Character in there.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name.
Yeah, I'm terrible with their names.
But yeah, I mean, it's again one of those things where I think it's something that's going to be up people's alley if they're into 80s, if they're into.
Leanne just hated it.
Oh, she did.
She said it was maybe the worst thing she's seen on television recently. I really liked it, so I don't.
Well, you're also an 80s apologist.
Yeah, but sometimes that's really bad.
Yeah.
No, if it's too like, hey, we're the 80s, hey, like I get it.
Like the Goldbergs.
There was fuck that stuff. This was a little pandering, but I mean, in the first episode, it's like they're playing The Cure and Jesus and Mary Chain and Sisters of Mercy and Killing Joke, and I'm just like, what? Like, did I write this show?
So I want all the listeners to understand that Ryan didn't actually watch the show Deadly Class.
I just listened to it.
He just listened to it.
I was just listening to my Spotify. That's what happened. I wasn't actually watching TV. I forgot. Henry Rollins is in it. He's just a teacher.
Okay, I know. This is exactly why you're like. I liked it. I don't doubt that Deadly Class is not.
It's good.
Is not.
It's got that kind of like kind of John Hughes like 80s teen movie where they have all the little cliques and all the different gangs and stuff, like like kind of all these different groups of people that all get together, and there's kind of one person from each sort of represents the show. So I really liked it. It was really fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, one last question here. This will be a very quick episode. This is from Jack JT.
We're not going to give him a good solid dose of. You just want to go home.
That's fine. It's from JT.
JT.
He says a few more local comic shops have closed. St. Mark's in New York.
Oh, okay.
And another one is being given away soon. Did you hear about this?
No.
I don't know the legality or how any of this works. I have to assume there's a staggering amount of debt this store owes. But they're giving basically, it's not a raffle. It's not a contest. I don't know. There's got to be some legal loophole here.
If you want it, you have to basically absorb it.
There's a store. He says Chimera. That doesn't. I'm going to take his word for it. That's the name of the store. I don't actually know. That doesn't sound right, but I don't know the name of the store off the top of my head. So we'll say Chimera. You have to write like a why would I run a great comic book store and like pay this guy like $25 or $2,500? I thought it was $2,500, but then I saw someone say it was $25. I don't know.
Maybe it's $250.
And you have a chance to have this guy
choose
you to give a store to.
Is it a franchise?
No, I don't think so. It's just a guy's store. Like, he's not selling it. You're not winning it. But he's
definitely a comic book guy.
He's choosing to give
he didn't have any offspring.
He is choosing to give someone a comic book store.
He was an only child.
To me, this just screams this store has like this dude somehow franchised. He set it up as like a LLC. He's backing off. The owner comes in and they have like $250,000 in back taxes owed or something like that. Like there has to be a scam here somewhere because I don't get what the deal with this is. So I would avoid that entirely. But to continue, he says, what is your advice, comic book retailing 101, for retailers who should know, #love the hub? Thank you. JT's he's a hub lover. Okay, he's a big hub lover.
Yes, we know. We pull JT's books.
We do. The thing with St. Mark's, I don't talk shit about a comic book store, all right? This store has been in New York for 35, 36 years or something like that.
Okay, can I preface this real quick?
It's closing down.
I understand you don't want to talk shit, but the fact that the article that was written about this store...
Hold on.
Hold back talking shit.
No! Let me give you a little backstory here. This store is a prominent store in New York City in the 80s. Mm-hmm. It's a small, hole-in-the-wall store. Lots of hidden treasures, as we like to say around here.
That garbage.
Lots of hidden treasures.
Yeah, unorganized bullshit.
Hidden treasures.
Fucking unorganized bullshit. AKA.
Yes.
Unorganized bullshit.
Yes.
You want a good hidden treasure? You go into a quarter bin.
And everyone in the New York scene knows this store. All right. So all the New York comic blogs, The Beat, Heidi McDonald, all these people are like, oh my God, TCJ, like, oh my God, St. Mark's is closing. End of the industry's over. Then you actually look at the store subjectively.
Yeah.
Right? You read their Yelp reviews. Their Yelp reviews are incredible. The store is dirty, filthy, unorganized. Mm-hmm. They hire women to work there as eye candy to attract people to come into the store. I don't know this. This is just what the reviews say. They, especially if you're of African American descent, they follow you around the store and harass you because they think you're going to steal from them. Mm-hmm. They are rude. They don't pay attention to their customers. They don't restock stuff. The stuff's in shitty condition. They lose orders all the time. Like, again, I want, this is not me saying this. These are the Yelp reviews. They're public Yelp reviews. You can read this. One of the reviews was even like, I worked there for a year and the guy sexually harassed me, right? Mm-hmm. Like, these are all, maybe it's a gigantic smear campaign against this store and it's actually the best store on earth, right? I don't know.
Highly doubt it.
It just seems like a really shitty comic book store that's going out of business finally, right? Now, was it at one point the mecca of cool nerdom in New York in the 80s? Yeah, probably, right?
Well, I think when the place first opened up in the 80s, they opened up during a time where, 80s, what was going on? We had, The Dark Knight Returns.
A lot of indie boom
stuff. And where is this?
So it would have been early 80s, yeah.
Where is it? It's the punk, ska,
It's in the hip part of New York, yeah.
It's where it was open, what was out at the time, like St. Mary's, like it's this...
St. Mark's.
St. Mark's.
Close.
You have all of this stuff that really kind of established making this a cool place to go and hang out and all that stuff, but as time progressed, the store didn't.
Yeah.
It's like this store is still stuck in the 1980s.
Right.
And all the people that are like, oh my God, it's the end of an era, are everybody that's watching, what was that stupid Rami and Michelle fucking garbage movie, right?
High school reunion or whatever. Yeah.
It's like everybody's trying to remember their high school reunion from the 80s in St. Marks.
Well, I saw a few comments that was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe the store's shutting down. That really sucks." When was the last time you were there? 1992. Well, then fuck. What do you care, right?
Yeah.
Like, you obviously don't care if you haven't been there in 25 years. Does it suck that the comic store is going away? Yeah. Does it suck that a crappy comic store is going away? I don't know. Not really. All right.
I think this store represents more of what ideally people thought of a comic book store.
Yeah.
Like the idea and the concept of a store versus what an actual quality good comic book store is.
Yeah, and you can have a small, cramped, kind of funky, disorganized store in a hip little part of town, but you can make it work.
Yeah.
You can have some cool stuff there. Mm-hmm. You can change the front display of the store. You can clean. You can dust. You can be nice to your employees and your customers. This is not rocket science.
We have to be nice to the customers.
I just drag them on Twitter. Like that's no, fucking all you people. It's usually just randos that are asking dumb questions.
This is true.
Okay, guy comes in today, right? And this was
okay. You're gonna say this, but I want to preface this with something. You go on Twitter and do your
it's funny
our valued customer, basically for the store.
Sure.
You're not drawing it out. You're just doing it in 100 or 240 characters less.
So, a dude comes in and he goes, I want to get something for my friend. He's a humongous Spider-Man fan. Pause. He's never read a comic book before, right? And I put this on Twitter. I was like I'm not making fun of this customer. I have to just accept that this is going to be a more common occurrence, right? As years go on, especially with how popular the movies are and video games and TV shows. Like in the 90s, it would have been like, oh, I saw this one thing. Now it's like I can be a humongous Spider-Man fan and literally have never read a comic book, right? So yeah, I'm not.
I mean, we expected we've always had it since the beginning, but I mean, my friend's this huge Iron Man fan and never read a comic.
Yeah, no.
we knew that one.
Yeah, like the one, when the movie came out. But yeah, for stores like this, it just feels like the industry's passed them by. If you look at the stores closing, I know some of the guys in the retailer forum are trying to put together a list of stores that are closed in the last couple of years. And a lot of these get that, the death of the industry. Oh, look, they're all closing. Look at how many just small businesses close. Mm-hmm. A lot of these stores that are closing, a lot of them are older single guys or retired guys that they don't have anyone to pass a store on to. It's hard to kind of sell a store, I think, right? Yeah. I mean, especially if you're not in like a really populated area, or you haven't had an employee like myself that was sort of like, my goal is to take over the store later. Yeah. If you're just one guy running a shop for 40 years, you don't have someone to pass a store on to, right, or to sell it to. So a lot of these stores shutting down have been around for 30, 40 years, and the people are just retiring. You have a lot of them that tried to open up in just way too expensive areas, and they just don't know, like when we got this new place, I was fucking sweating bullets because of the rent. But I'm like, here's my plan. Here's how I can make it work. Here's what the rent's going to look like over the next 10 years as it increases slowly. I think I can do this. But there is a cap. There is a limit, right? Yeah. If the place was like $10,000, I'm not going to go into that. I know I couldn't afford that, right? You have people that are just terrible businessmen. You have people in every walk of life that just don't know what they're doing. So they're like, I'm going to open a comic book store or a restaurant or a hotel, or they're going to make a .com, right? Whatever it is. Yeah. And they're just going to fail because they just don't know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Is some of this shit from the industry? Yeah, I don't doubt that Diamond fucks some store 10 ways from Sunday and it's Diamond's fault the store went out of business. But 99 times out of 100, that's not the case. Yeah. So...
Well, I think it's also, again, like you said, it's a combination of a lot of factors. I mean, if you look at a store like St. Mark's, it didn't change with the times.
Yeah.
If you look at a store that just had a shitty owner, and shitty business practices, and just didn't know how to run the business, then Marvel shut them down because of variants and all that garbage.
But
it's a bad joke, I know.
No, but there is a belief that because of Marvel, my store's going out of business. Well, why? What? Like, why would Marvel put you out of business? If you're selling 90% Marvel, diversify a little bit. I find it hard to believe that any store is just that much. I mean, if Marvel and DC went out of business, that is a little bit different.
Yeah.
But even Marvel sales declining, something else is happening if you're losing 80% of your customer base. Even at the worst, when Marvel and DC sales bottomed out.
Which was right before New 52. Marvel and DC's...
No, after New 52. The end of New 52 was when Marvel and DC both fucking bottomed out at the same time.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Well, I mean, they've both done it occasionally, right? But, like, are you not engaging your customers to find out what they're interested in? Are you not pushing other stuff? Are you not using avenues of revenue like back issues or special order items or variant covers, or can you hunt down collections? Maybe you have, what else do your customers want, right?
Yeah.
Don't become a game store. Don't, if you want to become something else, that's fine too. But I don't recommend. If you're a comic book store, I recommend looking at what made your store work in the first place. If it's never worked, then I question what the hell you're doing there ever, right? Did you do your research? Did you do your homework? Did you look at the area? Is it better serviced by other stores? If you walk into a comic store and you're like, holy shit, the store is amazing, why would you open up down the street from it? Like, you're not going to win.
Yeah. Well, and people are like, for us around here, we have so many comic book stores.
Yeah.
But they're all very different in...
And it is spread out a bit, too, now. Yeah. There's not as many as there was. And I feel we all service a little different things than the other stores. So,
and size-wise, each store is different. What stores offer is different.
You're also in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
If you're in the middle of Midwest Nowheresville and there's a comic store, they don't need two, right?
No.
You're in a very populated area, an area that with some very good incomes, with sort of nerdy people. It makes sense.
Yeah.
You're in a place like Vegas. Vegas is a shitload of comic stores. A lot of people just like to spend money when they're in Vegas, right?
Yep.
Good place to open a comic store with a bunch of high-end collectibles. Someone wins it big, boom, they can come in and blow it out a bunch of science shit. The stores in Vegas are really interesting because they do. It's a different experience than a store like in New York or San Francisco. Yeah. There's a lot of quirky areas of New York and SF, right? I mean, a store like Isotope or Mission Comics or a Comic Experience, they fit those areas of where they are, right? So,
well, and I think that you also, a Midwest comic book store is not necessarily a comic store that people think of as just straight comics. A lot of Midwest stores are kind of that go-to geek warehouse, so to speak. They have
it probably makes more sense there.
Yeah,
because of the size.
Because of the size, yeah. and the thing is the gaming. There's not much to do. Gaming is something that brings people in to the store, but it also is something that I've been to a handful that are split 50-50. Half of the store is comics, half of it is gaming. And the ones I've walked into that are fairly successful, they might not have a lot of back issues, but they got trades. They have new comic books on the wall.
In those areas, and I think if you have a large store and you have the staff for it, they have to be knowledgeable about the product. I'm not going to start pulling a board game store because I don't know shit about board games. I wouldn't know.
There's no space.
Well, it's not just that. I would expand out trades and comics and more face-out stuff over gaming because I don't know it and I don't want to know it. It's just not my thing.
But that doesn't limit you from ordering it for your customer base.
Yeah, if they want it, sure.
And that's the thing is as long as you let your customer base know and you're in touch with what your customer base is. Your customers can go, can you order me, every expansion of Munchkin.
Yeah,
and the person who knows what I'm talking about is probably smiling right now.
I've done that for a while, but
but that's the thing is you can order from, if your shop doesn't stock board games, you can still go, hey, could you pick me up this board game?
Yeah, if you have a Diamond account, you also have an Alliance account, and you can order anything from them.
Yeah, so it's one of those...
Most anything.
so it's one of those things where I think that it's not necessarily about having it in the store. It's about having the access to the product for your customers and knowing your customer base.
Yep.
Right? Like if you hear something is coming out, you can talk to your customer base about, hey, there's this card game that DC is releasing. Is anybody interested in picking this up?
Yeah.
You know, Marvel's coming out with a miniatures game. Is anybody interested in picking this up?
Yeah.
Like, it's not something that you would necessarily stock, but you're wanting to also, like, engage with your customers and say, hey, this is something I can get you.
Yeah, yeah.
Which, guess what? Gets you an extra sale and a couple extra dollars in the coffers.
Right.
So,
no, you know,
but the industry's dying.
Well, yeah. Just, you know.
Why do you always pick the crappy last questions? Like the downer
last question. No, it's a good last question because I'm telling you how not to have a crappy store. You know, just think about, always think about what you like in a store, right? Would you shop in your own store? That's always a question I ask. Like, I've gone into some stores where I'm like, the store's fucking awesome. And I've been to some stores where I'm like, I wouldn't walk in here if you paid me again. Yeah. Like, it's just awful.
Well, and I think that you also have to be realistic when you're running a store. Which I think you've done very well. There's stores you've walked into and you're like, I love this store, it's amazing, but you don't come back and go, this store needs to change to look like this.
Yeah, it's not possible.
Like you don't. You try to emulate the things that you enjoyed about that store.
Take parts of it, yeah. Take something that
works.
But
you're not trying to implement the, a completely different style or whatever just because you liked that one thing.
Right.
Like you and I have been discussing other types of product to carry in the store.
Yeah.
And where are we going to put them?
Little things here and there. Yeah.
Is it going to work?
Well, I've tested out so many little lines to see, hey, these keychains, they do well. Buttons did well for a while, kind of cooled down. But, what works? What doesn't? Mm-hmm. Little additional items. We've expanded our supplies selection. We've done some of it more, cut back on some of it, Try a few lines here and there. Does this work? Does this not work? Okay,
But we don't, like, a lot of people, well, you don't have T-shirts. I'm like, where would we put
T-shirts
them?
are a nightmare. They take up so much space. You end up with so many dead sizes. That you just don't, yeah.
It's not, it's again, you can tell your customers, hey, if you want something from Graffiti, and it's available through Diamond.
I opened up a direct account with the Graffiti. Anything they have available, I can order.
Sweet.
Direct. And now I don't have to go through Diamond anymore. Because they've just been canceling orders.
They've been canceling everything. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's so weird.
But yeah, and it's like, because of our new location, we can actually try things that we couldn't do at the other store.
Yeah.
And so that's the exciting part is like what's going to work.
Yeah.
But we're not going to go half of the store is now what we're going to try.
Right. No, little here, a little there, here, a little there.
Yeah.
It's look at the industry, look at the sales charts, look at what's selling, look at what other stores are selling. Maybe it'll work for you. Look outside comic stores, look and see what's popular in other areas.
Well, like I'm curious this year going into 2019, how well the toy market's going to do in stores.
Prices are going up. People keep buying them though, so
and that's
look at those margins.
But the thing is well, we don't have the big, you don't have Toys R Us anymore.
Yeah.
So you can get it from Target, Walmart.
That's about
it.
Yeah.
So are Target and Walmart going to be? I mean, I have kids. I've gone to Target and Walmart. They're still not restocked from Christmas.
Yeah, no.
Like their
selections suck.
Their toy selections is complete and utter garbage.
I went to the Target over here a little while ago, and it's just like holy shit! Like it's like 3/4 empty, and you're like, what is going on here? Like there's nothing in here.
Yeah, and it's like, so what's going to happen to the comic book stores? Are we going to see an influx of people looking for toys?
I just ordered a full set of DC Icon action figures because they were out. They're offering some full cases of some Marvel Legends that I know were really popular, so I ordered a couple of those. Restocked our selects, restocked the gallery figures, ordered a couple statues, moved a few things around, clearanced out a few new things. Gotta stay on top of this shit, man. It's like gotta look at what's selling.
We still need to move the Batwing though.
Someone asked about it the other day, and I was like, "Come on, buy it."
Well, I'm telling you,
it takes a lot of space,
and it'll be gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's work, and if you're not willing to put in the work, the effort, the time, you're gonna fail, like anything else.
Yep. We're always giving some advice for comic stores on here. If you,
getting the hub is a good advantage.
Absolutely, some big updates coming from what I'm hearing. So, looking forward to that.
And we learned something new recently about the hub.
What's that?
If you deactivate somebody's account, they can apparently still order stuff, and you don't know.
And I don't know it. Yeah, but they don't get it. It's just
it's like, hey, I was ordering stuff from you. It's kind of like, oh,
you were? Yeah,
you were?
That's an interesting one. All right. Yeah. We were watching that State of the Union address before we recorded, so we started a little late here. So let's wrap up. That's all right. Nice short episode for once. We'll take it. Julian Titus, our good friend Julian Titus, has the Nerds Without Pants podcast. You should go follow him at pixelbit.com. That's PIXLBIT. Oh, I should say, don't forget about pre-ordering your copy of Neon Future as well. They're supporting us through the end of this month as well. You heard the nice little 30-second ad intro of this episode before this episode started. So hopefully you've already pre-ordered your copy.
Because two in the current previews? Or are they skipping months?
We just got our physical copies of previews this month. It loaded into Hub, but I haven't had a chance to go through everything yet. Okay. So I'm going to pop through previews this weekend and look at everything. Jody Lawson over at Canon, the Triad Comics Anthology at triadcomicsstudios.com. Go check those guys out, read their comics. Mm-hmm. Sam Che, Craig Anderson, you sent me your website, which you told me you forgot to send me last week. Let me go back up here. It is craigpanderson.com. Craig, I need to rewrite your little thing here so I have something more succinct to say at the end of the podcast. But are you a professional that wants to level up to become the best professional you could possibly be? You should contact Craig Anderson at craigpanderson.com. Find out more there. Joe Duff, Andrew Nelson Mendez over at Recovery of an Anime Junkie podcast. Darfox8 over at Manga Machinations. Page Turner is a comic book podcast where they deal with one comic book at a time over at Page Turner's podcast.
Thank God it's not one page at a time.
.com, one page per podcast. Feel like a 30-second podcast. Unless it's a Tom King, Mitch Jared's podcast, then it would be like, a couple minutes. Well, no, Tom King doesn't write a lot of dialogue, though, but it'd be...
If it was a Bryce Larson...
9...
X-Men from the beginning, like one-page podcast.
Like 40 minutes per podcast.
40 minutes per podcast.
And Tyler Willits, Thursday Thunderdome over at Thursday T-Dome on Twitter and ThursdayThunderdome.com. Two men enter, two men discuss one thing. No, two men enter, two men discuss two things. One wins. I think that's right. Yeah, sounds right. Two men discuss one thing. That works too. I don't have it in front of me. I just made this up. It's good. It's a Thunderdome. You know what Thunderdome is? Two people enter, one person leaves. Someone dies at the end of every podcast is basically what I'm saying. So it's really graphic. It's terrible. Like, you should definitely go to ThursdayThunderdome.com and listen to their podcast. Thank you all for your support.
Didn't two people enter because wasn't one
two enter and one leaves
on the back of the other one?
Patreon.com/Comic Conspiracy is where you can go if you would like to kick us a couple bucks. We're more than happy to tell you other things you should read and listen to. And tell you about our friends.
I hate random picks.
Oh, yeah, fuck that. Comic Conspiracy Podcast.com. I'll tell you a random pick. You want to know what random pick's not random at all, but I have been, for the first time in forever, actually rereading a comic book series as Doom Patrol, Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol, getting ready for the TV show that starts next fucking week, apparently. Whoa.
Yeah, we're almost we're going to be halfway through February.
Yeah, I'm not.
Just so you know, Valentine's Day is coming up.
I know. I was hoping that I would actually be done with it before the show started. That's not going to happen. But I did make some pretty good progress on the first trade. Those big fat trades. Yeah. God, I haven't read these.
Don't you have the omnibuses?
No. I got the three. I got the 3 big trades.
Okay.
I haven't read Morrison's Doom Patrol in such a long time. The amount of stuff I forgot.
Is your hair too brown?
What?
Is your hair too brown? You need to dye it blacker?
When the last time I listened, when the last time I read it,
goth yourself out a little bit more.
100% had black hair and black nail polish on when the last time I read Morrison's Doom Patrol.
Maybe you need to go back to that.
Undead. It's so good. Oh my god, dude! Morrison's run is so good. The Scissorman, oh, it's so fucking creepy. It's such a weird comic, and it is so like prototypical Morrison. Like everything that I love about his later stuff, you feel that energy in this, and a little bit in Animal Man, a little bit in Animal Man too. But so much of it is in this Doom Patrol.
Well, I think with Animal Man, he had to kind of keep it a little bit more centered, at least in some.
Animal Man's fucking weird.
It's weird, but
Doom Patrol
weirder. Weirder, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never read it. So.
It's real good. Comic Conspiracy Podcast, that's his podcast. You can go to there and listen to all the rest of our episodes, as well as on geekbox.net and iTunes and youtube.com/comics conspiracy. That's comics with an S, because we also have some store stuff on there. Not much, but a little bit.
Yeah, because you suck.
I do. If you would like to send us a long-form email that I will read 6 years from now, thecomicconspiracy@geekbox.net.
Hold on. You might read.
Is where you can send us an email. Digital.comicsconspiracy.biz is our digital storefront if you would like to pick up something on to read in your iPad. Go over there. Lots of great sales always going on. Big sales on big Marvel collections right now. So omnibuses and Epic collections are doing really cheap. And, of course, if you would like to buy physical comic books from us, comicsconspiracy.biz, you can go on there and purchase comics, and we'll ship them out pretty quick. We also have our Comic Hub account at customer.comichub.com, and just select Comics Conspiracy as your store of choice, and we'll be in contact about setting up a subscription if you want to get books mail order on a monthly basis, or, obviously pick up in store weekly.
And we're a good place to pre-order your Detective Comics 1000.
Yeah, coming really soon, next week. FOC's really soon. If you have a place to order for Detective 1000, we have 2 sets available, one with the hardcover and one without, over at comicsconspiracy.biz. Conspiratobrock.com, that is Brock's blog, video pull list, unboxing videos on YouTube. You can all find them there.
I haven't had any in a while. I would have had one this week.
They lost their box.
They lost it, or they...
Well, they didn't ship it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Oh, well, it's all right.
Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension podcast, that's Charlie's Doctor Who podcast. And Etsy.com/shop/Leanne Hill Art. That is my wife Leanne's Etsy store. You can go on and buy some prints from her on there. We are all on Twitter. I'm Ryan Higgins Ryan. Brock is Brock Sager. And the store is Comics Con Store if you would like to follow us on Twitter and harass us a little bit. I've been posting a lot more on the Facebook page and a little bit more on the Twitter account for the store. I've been posting up a lot of FOC info, variant covers. Whenever
DC did the previews, they do have the covers. All
the covers
for the variants. It makes it's
infinitely easier.
Easier. So definitely check out. At least if you're looking for a lot of if you like DC stuff, grab up that DC preview so you can check out what the variant covers are for the books coming out.
And, of course, Geekbox, Comedy Button, Manga Machinations, and Infinite Binge over on YouTube or some other things in our little network. And you can go listen to those or watch those if you would like. And that's it. We're going to wrap up. I'll catch everyone next week.
God, I need a cigarette.